And that's how we are ending the commodity market today. We are going to be looking at cocoa very well. As you just saw, it shed 5% off its price. We'll be monitoring closely what's happening with cocoa on the global market. But tonight, we begin with oil. The Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, COPEC Ghana, is kicking against any move by the National Petroleum Authority to increase fuel prices from tomorrow, the 1st of May. This follows a directive from the authority for the oil marketing companies to start applying new taxes on fuel from the 1st of May. So in addition to that, the authority has also increased some levies on the price build-up, a move that will result in liters going up by some 47 pesos. But speaking earlier on the marketplace, Executive Secretary of COPEC Ghana, Duncan Amwa, urged oil marketing companies to protest the move.
It is not just unfortunate, but this is unacceptable. At the time that the Finance Ministry in the 2021 budget has already added on some hardship to Ghanaian pockets by increasing taxes by some 30 pesos. The National Petroleum Authority, SU Moto, is also deciding that at the implementation or at the outset of adding these new taxes, it is also going to increase margins, particularly the bust margin, which, if you recall, was increased from 3 pesos last year to 6 pesos. As we speak, the communique says that bust margin should be moved up to 12 pesos. That's a 100% increase. The fuel market project itself will have to be reviewed, but we are increasing the fuel market margin itself from 3 pesos to 8 pesos. Again, MPA is also increasing your UPPF from 27 pesos to 30 pesos. The sad part of it is that the transporters who even do these jobs are not getting the monies. Again, you have primary distribution margin, which used to be 8 pesos. NPA has increased it to 11 pesos. If you put all of these margins together, tomorrow, NPA has added additional 17 pesos to every liter of fuel you purchase. If you do the numbers, that's almost 80 cents per gallon. If you put all together with the taxes that the Finance Ministry is requesting for, what it means is that every Ghanaian effective tomorrow will be paying almost 2 Ghana cedis, 50 pesos extra on your current fuel prices. And we think that the NPA would have to be reined in at this point. It is not only ill-timed, but extremely insensitive and bad, considering how high fuel prices already are in this country and how the complaint has been all this while. We think that the NPA should be made to withdraw this without delay at all.
Meantime, over 1 billion cedis has been mobilized in taxes just under a year from activities of oil marketing companies and bulk oil distributors. That's according to revenue assurance firm Strategic Mobilization, which was appointed in 2017 by the Finance Ministry. This was disclosed by the firm to the media during a visit to assess its operations at its site in Tema. Kwame Anka has the rest of the story.
The revenue assurance firm Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited, SML, currently monitors all the existing depots of the oil marketing firms and bulk oil firms in the country. Prior to the introduction of SML, there were some serious leakages and under-declaration of the volumes lifted by some oil marketing companies and bulk oil distribution companies. Since its deployment of the electronic metering system, EMS, in June last year, it has already saved the country more than 1 billion Ghana cedis. Christian Tetesoti is the Managing Director of Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited.
In terms of monetary value, the term is the additional revenue as compared to 2019 has been 1 billion and over. So our presence in our monitoring, I can say, has been very effective. What we can say is that the volumes that were being declared have suddenly gone up. And so one could infer that maybe in the past, the volumes that were being declared were not the right volumes. I'm just saying one could infer.
There are also plans to extend the services to other areas, including bonded warehouses. Christian Soti shares steps taken so far.
And currently, we've been asked to do a feasibility and survey the warehouses and come out with a report as to how it could be done. And we are finished with the survey and the feasibility, and the report has been given to the GNRE. When we are given the go-ahead, then we can expand into that area also and do the monitoring and provide assurance for those bonded warehouses. We surveyed about 300 warehouses across Greater Accra, Western region, and Ashanti region. And so we are waiting. And I believe that when we are given the go-ahead, we can then roll out into those areas.
SML is currently not connected to Ghana Revenue Authority's Integrated Customs Management System, ICUMS. Once done, SML will have access to declaration, products lifted through to payment to ensure the country is not shortchanged. For Joy Business from Tema, this has been Kwame Yanka.
In other news tonight, government has set conditions for country's mining community with regards to prospecting for gold in forest reserves and along water bodies. Already, the president has ordered the Ghana Armed Forces to clear all river bodies of persons and mining activities. Let's listen to both the Defense and Lands and Natural Resources ministers who updated the media on this exercise.
There will be aerial patrols where GAF has already swept past. Armed men will be authorized to take action, immediate action, on anyone who returns to these river bodies as the patrol goes by air. So once the armed forces sweep past, we expect that nobody should return to the place. But helicopters will carry armed men to patrol the place every 3 days. And anybody found operating again on the areas that have been cleared, the security will be tasked to take immediate action. Whatever they say or whatever they do, we cannot communicate to you, but they will take action. So it is not in your interest to return to site. And we want this message carried out to the people of Ghana. Don't return to site. Once it is cleared, we expect the river bodies to return to normal. The task of the armed forces and the Ministry of Lands and Forestry is to ensure that River Pra is cleaned up. And we'll do everything and anything to make sure it is cleaned up for the people of Ghana to see that result. And we'll continue like that in all river bodies.
Fundamentally, they are talking about the water bodies of our country, the state of our water bodies. They are talking about our forest reserves. The illegal small-scale mining which takes place everywhere else is important, and we are going to deal with that. And in fact, we are dealing with that. But the water bodies and forest reserves, we came to the well-reasoned conclusion that those are high priorities. And so measures were put in place. The first measure we took was to direct the Forestry Commission to cease the issuance of forest entry permits for purposes of mining. For those who are familiar with the processes leading to actual legal mining in forest reserves, having secured all your permits from the Minerals Commission, the EPA, and so on and so forth, you require a forest entry permit in order to mine in a forest reserve. If you are going to mine at a place which is not a forest reserve, you don't require a forest entry permit. But if it's a place which is designated as forest reserve, you have to go to the Forestry Commission for a permit in order to be able to mine. So we'll put a freeze on that, which means there cannot be further mining in forest reserves. I have to clarify that. For the enterprises or operations or companies who have already acquired mining licenses or mining leases and gotten forest entry permits and are mining and following the protocols, the environmental protocols, they have what we call accrued rights. So this instruction will not take a retroactive effect. So it will not affect them. And there are a good number of responsible large-scale, small-scale mining schemes going on in forest reserves with the right permit. But in the future, no more forest entry permits. 2, we also observed that people come up to apply for prospecting, recognizance, and/or exploration licenses. And again, those who are familiar with the mining industry, those kinds of licenses are for you to go and check whether or not the concession is mineralized, whether or not you can find minerals in the concession. If you find minerals, you then will come back to the Minerals Commission to go through the processes all the way to get a mineral operating permit and a forest entry permit before you can mine.
You're watching Business Live. In other news tonight, customers of telecommunication giant MTN will have to pay more talk time and data charges following the increase of 1% in the National Health Insurance Levy. In a statement released by the telecommunication company, it said the introduction of the COVID-19 Health Recovery Levy by government has resulted in the increase in the NHIL, which means customers would have to pay more for the levy, which takes effect, that is from the 1st of May 2021. Let's just show you the full statement there. It says, dear valued customer, following the introduction of the COVID-19 Health Recovery Levy resulting in the 1% increase in the National Health Insurance Levy, your talk time and data volumes will be adjusted to reflect the tax change. This takes effect from the 1st of May. And so that's the statement from MTN. Let's make sense of it. Joining us is Kusi Appiah-Admarko, who is the Executive Director of CAS International. Mr. Appiah-Admarko, thanks for your time tonight. We are grateful that you could join us. So it had to be either of two situations, right? Either MTN absorbs or increases the charges, and they chose to increase the charges, which is a logical thing to do, isn't it?
Yes, and I think it is not only, perhaps MTN might be the first of the mobile network operators to have come out of its release. Others, I'm sure, would also do so. MTN is just giving effect to the amendment in the law, and it is a natural thing for MTN to do so. And we also see other businesses also. Some may decide to absorb it or pass it on to the consumers, but that is a business decision. And you do the cost-benefit analysis, and you look at what would be in your best interest. And I think MTN might have done it, and they see that it's in their interest. It is the best interest of the company to let the consumers pay for the 1% addition.
Okay. How significantly would they have been impacted if, for instance, MTN decided to absorb it, do you think?
I think 1% is a lot. And if it wants to absorb it, that means that it's going to take toll on their performance. And MTN is also a big player, and they can afford to absorb it, but they have decided to pass it on to consumers, which is a natural thing. And I think we can't fault MTN for that decision. Other players like Airtel or Vodafone, we are yet to see their response. I'm sure that over the weekend also, they would also do the same. I'll be very much surprised to see Airtel and Vodafone Ghana also decide that they're absorbing it, because I don't think they have the financial muscle to do that.
Okay, and so the consumer is going to be paying for this subsequently. I've not seen the rates or the charges, but how significantly do you also think that the consumer will be affected by the increase in the charges of both calls and data?
I think we should not only be affecting all goods and services. And so consumers are going to see increase in price of goods and services starting from the 1st of May. I mean, for us, I think that the question that we have to ask is that whether it was appropriate fair for government to have slapped 1% addition to the VAT. I mean, if you would have asked me that question, I would have said the government could have considered other form of taxation, because this kind of indirect taxes, it affects more of the poor than the rich. We know that our tax to GDP ratio is very, very low in this country, but not the fact that it's low doesn't mean that we should still keep on taxing people who are already burdened in paying the tax. There are other form of taxation that government has not done much in going for. We talk of the property taxes. We talk of other direct taxes that the state is not, going there. But always, anytime government wants additional revenue, government always comes to those who are already paying the revenue, who are already paying taxes. And I think this type of incident, it's kind of a worry. And this brings our VAT to almost 20%, which is one of the highest in Africa or in most developing countries. I think we need to be very creative in the way of mobilizing revenue than to always push. Any tax that we want, we push it on VAT. I think it's not the best. Government should do more than doing on that.
Great. You make an important point. It's not just the data and the core charges going up. Just about everything is going up. And that's a reality from the tax measures proposed in the 2021 budget. And so it appears it's going to be really difficult for consumers in the coming months. Thank you so much, Kusia Dumaku, who is Executive Director of CAST International. We are grateful for your time. Country Director, I should rather have said. You're watching Business Live. We'll be right back after this break. We have some more news for you tonight. Agri-House Foundation and Agricultural Advocacy Agency has organized the second edition of the Agri-Woman Marketplace, a fiscal and digital model of a farmers market platform intentionally designed for women and women farmers and agribusinesses. It is sponsored by the U.S. Department of Agriculture and the Ministry of Food and Agriculture to address challenges faced by women in the value chain. There's more in this report.
This is the second edition of the Agri-Woman Marketplace. In Ghana, our markets are mostly dominated by women, but this is a special marketplace where a farmers market module is designed by women, for women, and with women.
My name is Mami Sewa. We produce locally made, that's made in Ghana, ketchups, hot sauces, barbecue sauces, and jams. This is my first time.
And what are your expectations?
My expectation is to sell. My expectation is to make very good contacts. And basically, whatever it is that will facilitate my business to expand. So for these small ones, which are 130 grams each, we sell them at 12 cedis. And this is our retail price. And also retail price for these big ones, which is 350 grams, we sell them at 25 cedis.
My name is Denita Nabil. I sell locally made cereals. We add value to our cereals grown here in Ghana. This is my second time participating.
What was your experience in the first time?
Well, the first one, which was held in March, was super awesome for me because I was able to get a contact that stocks my product in her shop.
So my name is Janet Adade from Madomise Women Farmers Association in the OT region. We are an association that the rural women, the German Association of Rural Women are sponsoring. So they have taught us how to do rice parboiling. So we have Ghana rice that has been parboiled here. We parboiled it because there are nutrients in the husk. So through the process, the nutrients get into the rice. So the parboiled rice is more nutritious than the straight milled rice. We have it here. Then we have brown rice also. Brown rice involves a lot of nutrients too. If you are diabetic, you eat brown rice also.
The Agri-Woman Marketplace doesn't only consist of participants who sell food items. We have an IT personnel here who is involved in the agricultural value chain.
My name is Blessing Benedict Anyatefe. As you can see, my company, the name Rema IT Solution. We design, we brand and print. We also train women that are interested in IT. When we were coming, we were afraid because it's about agri. And we're thinking people wouldn't like our idea. But when we came, a lot of people contacted us for their branding.
Albertana Nature Akosa, founder of Agri House Foundation.
Tell us the rationale behind Agri-Woman Marketplace.
The Agri-Woman Marketplace is a monthly farmers market model, which is designed for women in agribusiness and women farmers.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what is the success rate of the first edition of the marketplace?
Okay, so last month we had about 25 to 27 women participating. All of them, I can say, went home with only their handbags that they came with. We are very passionate, driven people, and we don't know or believe in a 9-day wonder affair. We desire to make impact.
So that's how the second edition of the Agri-Woman Marketplace ended. My name is Emma Davis, reporting for Joy Business.
All right, my name is Darryl Kwao. Enjoy your weekend.